We know will be on the ballot this November is a measure to ban ranked choice voting. St. Louis City is the only place who currently does this in Missouri. This amendment would prevent it from being implemented anywhere else in the state. Our Missouri Capitol Bureau reporter Hannah Falcon is digging into what voters will see this fall.
Ranked choice voting is a process where candidates are ranked by preference. Then the candidates with the most favorable ranking move on to the next round. Voting continues until a candidate receives over 50% of the vote. I asked the state's top election official how this ballot measure could affect Missouri's elections.
Historically, we have always used the person who gets the most votes wins.
Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft supports the proposed ban on ranked choice voting.
It's being pushed to change the outcome, and I don't think that when you lose an election, you should try to change the rules.
The ballot language asks Missourians if they want to amend the state constitution to only allow U.S. citizens to vote, ban ranked choice voting, and only have the single winner of a primary election on the general election ballot. But this may not be the final language. There is a lawsuit currently awaiting judgment in the Cole County Court that alleges the question is unfair and inaccurate because it is already illegal for non-U.S. citizens to vote. Representative Peter Meredith tells me that if passed, this measure could have some unintended consequences.
Our Constitution right now says all citizens have the right to vote. Changing that word all to only actually opens the door for them to go back to some of the restrictions they used to have.
This ballot language does not affect local elections in St. Louis, which started using ranked choice voting in 2020. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, First Alert 4.